Hey everybody. So for self-description, I'm a white genderqueer person with used to be red mostly. Now it's red and white beard, curly brown hair. There's a bookshelf behind me and a sort of like Hugo wall hanging from TJ Maxx. All right. So and this is from my essay, My Words to Julian Baker from the Halls of Hill House. Yeah. And I was in the creative nonfiction cohort last year. It's a week before the election when I drive into San Francisco to see Julian Baker of Boy Genius fame. My date for the night is canceled on me a few weeks before, and my alternate cancels that morning, citing a fraught parental drama. It's good, my friends assure me, for caretakers to have time to ourselves, to schedule that time and hold to it. So I get dolled up and head into the city. I arrive an hour before the concert and grab a quick dinner near the venue. A light is falling, and the venue's on the outskirts of a tourist neighborhood where the foot traffic is lively. I take my run at the vending table with the other early arrivals, mostly other queer and trans folks, before heading to the bar. The bartender tells me she's a gin girl, and I respond that I, like so many queers, like Julian Baker, am dry these days. She corrects herself. She's sober too. She used to be a gin girl. We bond over this shakeup in the usual protocol, and she finds me a jar of non-alcoholic gin behind the counter. The drink she whips up is a strange mix of floral notes and pineapple, but she undercharges me for it, and I'm grateful for this odd moment of camaraderie. I don't know either of the openers, and the venue has a little lounge, so I take a seat in a corner to nurse my phone. Deliciously alone among folks like me, I make my first read of Susan Stryker's legendary essay, My Words to Victor Frankenstein, above the village of Chamonix, while the opening act streams in from the next room. A strand of trans theory, originally delivered at Cal State San Marcos in the early 90s, the essay is a mix of personal reflections, memoir, and critical theory. My first college teaching position was at CSUSM, and while I read, I picture Stryker giving the address in my old classroom. My body limps as she aligns herself with Frankenstein's inhuman monster, confronting the good doctor and calling into question his fraught and partial notions of nature. She writes, quote, like the monster, I am too often perceived as less than fully human due to the means of my embodiment. My exclusion from human community fuels a deep and abiding rage in me that I, like the monster, direct against the conditions in which I must struggle to exist. When I move through public space on my commute to work, a towering figure in a skirt and a dress shirt, I am a spectacle to some. I usually travel in the daytime, along routes that often feel predictable and safe. When I'm greeted rudely, I've developed a risky habit of lashing back. Like Stryker, my unquiet body is home to no small amount of rage. Months ago, maybe even years, I decided that I'm tired of living in fear of men, their violence, and their haughty public disapproval. Since then, my body moves on its own, a thing haunted by its own refusal to disappear. This drift has a way of taking over, of setting my gaze when I notice another middle-aged commuter mean-mugging me on the train. This aggression passes through me like weather, like a wave, like an exhaustion. Once, confronted with an older woman's startled dismay as I stepped onto the bus, I heard myself say, I'm just a person. Thank you.